got the right bitch. No lefty walking my truth. Don't fuck with my 17 crawl for you walk. Run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue. Spit. Child, honey, I stumbled. Y'all, if you new here, I'm not a big fan of him. If you new here, I'm not a big fan of this roast beef sandwich looking motherfucker. No, he's the turkey sandwich. He's the turkey. I'm not a big fan of this roast turkey sandwich looking motherfucker. Not a big fan of Jason Lee. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I came across his interview with the TS. I came across his interview with Maddie or whatever, and I live for Maddie, so I decided to watch the interview. Shout out to Maddie. Jason can fall down. But yeah, a couple things came up, and I just wanted to breeze across it. You know, feel free to go and check out the whole interview. I think we just going to run across like 2 questions, I think.
Let's keep it real, Jason. I never grew up in the night. You were only a punk or a dyke. Them the days. You was a punk or you was a dyke.
And before a punk, you was a fag.
The fag.
I mean, people don't want to.
You was the faggot, punk, or dyke. That was it.
That's what it was.
And so.
And where did we go from being able to just say that to cis, bi, trans, they, thou, them?
Because visibility happened. Respectability happened. People were occupying spaces.
Non-binary. So now on your birth certificate, they want to say you're non-binary. How can you be non-binary on a birth certificate?
Well, this is just your identity. You don't adhere to the binary. You don't adhere to.
But female. Isn't this just is it getting out of control, and are we to blame for it?
What's getting out of control is the lack of wanting to be educated on it and adhering to being knowledgeable on it and respecting. That's what it is. We still want to be in the space of being able to say faggot, punk, and dyke.
And get to the same place that I can say if any of my friends identify as them or they, just don't come over. Because I don't want to say they upstairs. I just don't want to say
you don't know
they out there, them can come over. Because now if I say, hey, it's getting out of control, and are we to blame for it?
What's getting out of control is the lack of wanting to be educated on it and adhering to being knowledgeable on it and respecting. That's what it is. We still want to be in the space of being able to say faggot, punk, and dyke.
And get to the same place that I can say if any of my friends identify as them or they, just don't come over. Because I don't want to say they upstairs. I just don't want to say
you don't know
they out there, them can come over. Because now if I say, hey, can you tell them?
I had to take a breath. And this is exactly why I'm not a fan of the roast beef sandwich. Y'all know that he's supposed to be a gay man, right? Child, this is, and then he want to call himself black. He's one of them people who I wish called himself biracial. So I have a little more separation from him because I don't want him to be a black queer. Like, he is just, like, why do we have all these trash-ass black queers in the head of media? But shout out to Maddie. I'm going to let Maddie run it.
To give me the soda, and they say, don't call me them, I'm he. Okay. Well, now I'm in a problem and I'm getting canceled.
Yeah, but
I'm confused.
No, Jason, this is why it's important to ask. So, and I told you this the last time when I was on you. When we first met, I said the most important thing that you can do is ask. Hey, I want to respect you. What you eat? When you're confused, how do I address you?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you're, because I've been in spaces where I've been like, oh shit, me.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, how I do this? Okay. Yeah. Hey, sweetie, what would you like for me to, how do I address you? Oh, it's she and her, they and them. Okay.
That's it. That's it. Common sense, right? Common sense, right? I'm going to let my good sis finish off and hit the target.
Sweetheart, what's your name? That's when I'm confused on how to say they and them. Sweetheart, what is your name?
And then you just call them.
Baby, if more people had this motherfucking common sense, honey. If more people had this, baby, that child is. Ain't nothing I could say. Ain't nothing I could say. Maddie said it all. I think they touched on something else. Let's see. Let's see what it's giving. Let's see if it's material. Let's see if it's material.
Especially that's something that she's not using anymore. Mm-hmm. Listen, We all know that Joan Crawford's name was Lucille Fay LeSueur. We don't know that. We know her as Joan Crawford, and we refer to her as Joan Crawford because that's the name that she goes by. Anything else outside of that, she don't need to even answer that because that's not her name anymore. You know, and so when you start getting to the space, Jason, we know you as Jason Lee. If you come out tomorrow,
but I had another name.
You had another name,
and I deaded that name.
And you deaded that name, and it's disrespectful.
And there are people who still try to call me by that other name, and I'm like, no, that name, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, don't answer to that.
And that right to be called what I want doesn't change because I also identify as trans. But they see it as an excuse to attack the trans movement.
It's very important that people understand that transphobia, like I said in my initial statement, affects all women. Not just some, it affects all. Because 2 days prior to that, a biological woman was murdered because they thought that she was a transgender woman.
But that's what I don't think people understand. Black women and black trans women are like the most targeted women in the world.
Yes.
And that's like the similar connection that I don't see why people don't see that.
Well, because
like, even with issues like Roe v. versus Wade being overturned and other like progressive rights that women have earned and fought for, that trans women are also champions of. Well, like, why aren't we focused on those things that matter to the woman experience?
It is all.
Okay. Jason said some things. Jason still didn't redeem himself in my book, but you know, he had to come up to Maddie. He had to come up to meet Maddie. You know, he had to come up. He had to step it up. He had to step up his puss. Had to step up his cookies. Hey, Model Ingenuity. Model Ingenuity says he irks me. Yeah. I compare Jason Lee to a dry turkey sandwich. Just because he looks like sliced turkey. You know, deli sliced turkey. He used to look like about a pound of, you know, regular, not seasoned, low sodium. He looked like about a pound of that, and not no boar's head or nothing like that. You know, that turkey that's pressed, that same type of turkey that you get in a banquet dinner with, but they put gravy on. Jason reminds me about a half a pound of that turkey, sliced up. Yeah, because y'all know he got the gastric bypass and stuff. You know he was a little yellow M&M, and now he had the gastric bypass, so you know he got all the skin hanging under his clothes and stuff. You know, some I'm sure he looks like a deli style turkey sandwich, but he's dry like one too. It need a little something. Need a little something. You could just throw it in the trash. Ain't no mustard. Ain't no nothing. And then he's gay, but he's not even a good gay. Like the only gay gene that's activated in him worth activating is you know, he can read a little bit halfway. He ain't gonna open up the library. You know, Jason Lee is not the type to read and open up the library. You know what I mean? He's the type to get read, you know, and shut the library down. But he's not a reader that'll open up the library. He got a little section. He do the kids' corner. He do the, you know how the drag queens have the little story hour? That's Jason Lee's ability to read over there in the kids section. Yes, very great value. Very great value. Press, deli, turkey, dry. What's the bread that the white people like? Rye, the rye bread. Yeah, it's on there. No mustard, no mayonnaise, honey. Not even no ketchup, no Thousand Island.